The agenda.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Things changed on my screen. That's certainly one option. You know, another option. I mean, one of the problems is if you go through the state, right? I've seen it at Pearl Restaurant, but down by the pier, they are.
You're saying the, oh, did he freeze?
I think it's, yes, I think he's frozen.
So Pearl is doing it right? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think he was going to make that comparison.
Yeah, I was on the Boston side and I attended, and it wasn't pretty to say. And because what happened is they did a site survey and noted all the little idiosyncrasies and the angle of this wasn't right, and so on. And so it would, let me put it this way, it would be a big deal to deal with hatches. And the other thing is,
oops,
freezing again.
So I'm seeing a person by the name of Suzanne Grout Thomas.
Yep.
Are you there, Suzanne?
I am. Oh, wonderful.
okay, now people are moving again.
And I think Rebecca's also joining. So we're talking about the hatches situation. I'm George Harris, and we have the agenda on. We can introduce everyone once everybody's on. And Suzanne, are you representing the select board?
Oh no, we're representing community services.
Community service. Okay, gotcha. Okay. I'm just gonna mess around with this so I make sure that you put your I've got your name. Okay. I think we just should go, even though Rebecca's not here. And let me just kind of go through the agenda. Here we are. Got a good group here today. We want to talk about the draft presentations that we spoke of in May. We want to approve the minutes from last meeting. We want to talk about ADA access. There's also, we had thought about setting up any meeting with the select board to discuss our role in ADA. Probably should put in here the status of the ADA. What are we calling that, Jim? ADA assessment or?
It's the improvement grant. It's the ADA improvement grant program.
Okay. There's a select board liaison that apparently was assigned to us, Ryan, who's supposed to join. And then there was a note sent out on participation in the special town meeting next month and whether we have anything to say having to do with the special town meeting. So let me just, did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? Because what I could do is I can basically start sharing that. Where is that? Somewhere. I knew I had it. Wait a minute. Let me go over here. Come on. Let's see here. Yeah, May 5th meetings.
That was the June 3rd meeting. Did people receive those?
I hope they did. I know I
Yep.
put them together. I'm trying to find it now. June 3rd, here they are. Can you see this? Oh, that's the agenda. Should be the minutes, or should be right in my folder here. I can't find my folder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Find your
There-
folder, maybe duck into the Wellfleet town website and grab them off of.
Yeah, unfortunately, there don't appear to be any minutes posted.
Oh, they're not up yet?
Well, we should have them from from one meeting, and then these to be approved. But all I see are the agendas.
Huh.
They're not on the municipal website.
this
Okay.
is my website, but I know
Oh,
I did I did them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure, Jim, whether you were going to help me on that or not. But I thought I had them, but I thought we had done them, or maybe that was something that just we missed. We somehow didn't. We missed it for some reason.
Well,
Because
I've got them. I mean, I can. It's
yeah.
Yeah, I can't put them on the screen, unfortunately, but I mean,
Okay.
I can resend them if that is helpful.
I think that probably
Yeah.
would be good if you
Yeah.
can do that.
Sure.
And that way, we can say for the
Good.
moment
Yeah.
that they're accepted. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
let's do
right.
second,
There we
yeah.
go. Okay. So let's go back to the agenda for today. So we had talked about the two presentations. One had to do with the improvement grant. The other one had to do with this ADA access at town beaches that I was working on. Is that something we still, and there's actually another one to talk about our role in ADA in general. What are people's thoughts about that? What do we want to bring forward? It seems like we don't need to bring anything forward on the ADA improvement grant because that information is already there. And I think Rebecca said they approved, at least the first step in that. We have to talk about the status of it. So that one may not be done. So does everyone agree with that we don't need to provide anything on that ADA piece, even though Kate sent around a presentation.
I apologize.
I think she sent around a presentation
Right.
to.
Right. Well, I think only to say that the application period for preparation of the grant opened on August 1st and is going to close on September 30th at 5 p.m. And the application is an online application, but there's a PDF that can be used for the preparation of it so that when you go online, you can immediately sort of transfer the information.
Okay.
And then notifications will be given to municipalities that apply in November and December. So that's sort of the timeline. And I'm not sure who's doing the work and how we can help, but I'm pretty sure Rebecca can't do it all by herself.
Yeah, I know that we have examples of the proposals actually.
Right.
That were submitted because they're public documents. So we have that.
Yes.
Jim, you took a look at the actual requirements. They seem pretty straightforward.
Yes, we meet the preliminary requirements because we do have a grievance procedure. We have a person now who is the municipal officer for disabilities. That's Rebecca. So we've met all those preliminary requirements, but there is some information that needs to be reported and some documents that need to be appended. I mean, there are all the instructions, but there are things that need to be done. And I guess it'd be a question of how, if at all, we can be helpful in the preparation of that. And that, Rebecca knows that she could utilize us as a resource.
I also have the assistant town administrator, the other Rebecca,
yes,
who actually is really good at grant writing, and she has offered to help me.
Rebecca.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Good.
Or Suzanne, what is your role going to be on that? Are you like on the team to pull that together? Or?
I think she'd be more concerned with the town beaches aspect.
Yeah, if I could, I'm on this meeting. Rebecca Eldridge sent me the link because I'm interested in collaborating with you folks on the ADA grant that could fund access at some of the town beaches.
I think that's great.
However I could help, I am willing to. I'm good at grants. I'm good at what I consider monkey work. So in order to get it on time and then
You dropped off for a little bit there. Suzanne?
Yes.
I don't know if she's. Oh.
Here I am. I'm driving. I must have driven through a hole.
There you go. Okay. No worries. So let's talk about the grant application for a minute. Today is the 19th. Jim said it has to be submitted online. We have 6 weeks basically. And I think it's an opportunity that we can't really miss. $25,000. It's to give us a plan. And as far as I read the information, Suzanne and others, the consulting company that will do the actual assessment will provide feedback on what we should do for our beaches. I think that's the way it works. Then there's a $25,000 follow-on grant that is available to fund some of the recommendations. Am I right in that or no?
That's exactly right. That's right.
So yeah. So
well, my other thought for funding for at least for the beach access is the CPC money is able to be used for recreational purposes. And so as our plan is crafted and we have let's say a 5-year plan with a 20% each year, that's something like that would be my expectation. I think we should develop also the application to the CPC for funding for executing the plan for 3, and they are always been really receptive to, like, I have a 3-stage plan, so I'll be coming to you for 3 years. And I think they are a tremendous resource that we should use for this as well.
So I'm not familiar.
That makes
with
sense. That sounds like great.
Yeah.
Is that something that is available to the town? And
yes.
Oh, it's our own funding. It's our own funding.
Oh, it's within your own funding. Okay.
Yeah, it comes partially from our taxes, and there's some matching dollars from the state, and there's parameters, and there's a committee, but it's a town committee, so it's totally accessible to us.
Okay, great. And do you know how much money's in that kitty or anything?
Well, right now, I think they're still waiting for the fiscal 20 and 21, 22 fiscal years to be closed, so they know an exact balance. But their application period is in November, so I'm sure by November they will know. Last time I knew, they don't give out 100% per year. They keep a reserve for just because it makes sense, is fiscally prudent to do so. They will give up to $300,000 or $400,000 out a year for various projects. Mostly they've been spending it on housing, and I think it's time to move it laterally to recreation and the town is doing a good job on recognizing the housing need. I think some of the smaller projects are going to fall by the way, if they don't get funding because they're not housing. So I'd like to raise that flag with ADA access.
Yeah, right. And so that's another separate discussion we need to have in terms of how do we bring our talent and the committee to provide input to that. Like, what is it that we're looking for? And I assume
right.
that
we wouldn't know until we get our assessment.
Right. And the assessment, right, I think, takes, I don't know, Kate, whether you had any information on that. Is it 6 months? What's this? Do you know how long it takes? What the expected what the expected turnaround is? So it looks like the application period ends the 30th. They review in October. They send out notifications, and then by December, the grants are in place. So we wouldn't be able to start this until like then we have to seem like the town has to then go out for a procurement to get the contractor in place. So we're probably like February maybe of 23 would start. Does anyone know sort of like how long?
What contractor? To do the physical work?
To do yes. This would be to do the self-evaluation.
Okay. Yes. It usually takes 30 to 60 days for procurement.
Okay.
Depending on the type of procurement you're doing. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, and it's driven by the dollar amount too. 25,000 is pretty much on the low end of procurement regulation, so it's not as many moving parts as something that would be 500,000.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Okay.
So I think we're looking at the fall of 23 before we could even hope to have anything started.
Okay. Stop sharing this thing. So the CPC dollars could help in the interim?
No, they have to be, you can't apply for the CPC dollars until you have a plan and a budget. So that would come after the assessment is completed. What would help in the interim for short-term ADA for beaches is a plan formulated by collaboration between my department and your committee for the beaches with a dollar figure attached to it. And then I could go for a transfer from the beach fund at town meeting, because the beach fund is a separate fund. It's receipts reserved for appropriation only. And the original 1966 article said for the maintenance and upkeep of the beaches. So I will be totally comfortable going for, let's say, $25,000 to $50,000 from that at town meeting in April.
Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
Can I interrupt before?
I was just agreeing that I think that would be feasible and a very good thing to answer.
Fred, I stepped away because Fred called. He got bounced out of the meeting, and he's waiting to be readmitted.
Okay.
I don't know if Rebecca's still here or whoever has the.
Yep, hang on.
Oh, Rebecca's there. Hi, Rebecca.
So Suzanne, is it helpful to you, whether it's for minutes or for putting this together for town meeting, to have like a little mini subcommittee from our commission to meet with you?
I would love, I think 2 of you and 1 of me, and Rebecca Eldridge would be the perfect for working group. We don't want a committee because that has to be appointed by the select board. We want a working group.
Sorry, wrong vocabulary.
No, don't be sorry. It just makes it less complex.
Yep. Working group.
Yeah, working group, because it has a specific goal and it dissolves when the goal has been met.
Got it.
Okay. So I'll make a note on that. First of all, let's put that to a vote. Do we want to set up a separate working committee to
Working group.
working group to with Suzanne and Rebecca to talk about the strategy for seeking the CPC funds.
If that's a motion,
Yes.
I will second it.
Okay. All right. And hi, Fred. Welcome back.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden, I lost you guys.
Okay. And then when would the working group start?
Well, I would, after Labor Day,
Okay. Okay.
because until then, I'm skating
Perfect.
around between beaches and council on aging and recreation and everything else. So after Labor Day would be better.
Okay.
Right.
And you guys can let me know. I mean, I don't know if you want to do it before, in addition to your regular meetings, or however you think works best for your members. Just let me know. I guess I'm not good on Tuesdays because of the select board meetings.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they should just operate separately because they're not commission meetings.
Right.
And then
Exactly. I mean, we can just play it by ear. We can even do it by email.
Back.
We could do it by
Yeah,
email.
we can
too.
report back. So
Yeah.
is there any of the commission members interested in joining that working group?
I would be.
Okay, Jim?
Fred, do you know what we were talking about while you were bounced out?
No.
We're talking about having a little working group with Suzanne Grout Thomas to talk about putting together something for town meeting in April about beach access, like the Moby Mat idea that we discussed earlier.
Mhm.
Is that something that you would like to be a part of that discussion?
Sure.
I'm
As long
not
as-
twisting your arm. I just didn't want you to not have a say.
Yeah. As long as I can do it remotely, because I'm all over the place.
No, remotely is fine with me.
Okay, so Jim and Fred, do we need to have a motion for Jim and Fred to serve or no?
Probably.
Okay, I'll make a motion that Jim and Fred will serve.
No, okay. I'll second it.
Okay. And if there's ever, and so that's another, I have an interest in this topic too. So I may sit in one of those meetings, or I'm interested in that. So
Sure.
that's good. That's great.
Sure.
I think the more minds put to it, because you never know what someone else has noticed that you haven't.
Well, I'm a Moby Mat person. I've been looking
Me
at
too.
Moby Mat. I've been
that's
Moby
not
Mats
true.
everywhere, and the town has put some through, and but I've seen them elsewhere, in Maryland and Delaware, and
Yeah,
so they work.
There's an alternative company owned and operated by a gentleman who used to work for Moby Mat, and his are actually barefoot friendly.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I like his product a great deal.
Okay.
So I will send Rebecca Eldridge that information on that company. You can all look at the website because it's a very cool website. In case you ever want to land a helicopter in Wellfleet, you can buy a Moby Mat for that. And then we can use that as there'll be price points on there, so we know what we're talking about, rough estimates and stuff. Yeah.
So, okay, so we've took care of that. The first item, I think, is we're not going to pursue that because one of the draft presentations was for the assessment grant. The other one was something I had put together for beach access and Moby Mats. So now we've cut that out. So I don't think we need to talk about separate presentations.
Yes.
On that. So I don't think so. Not needed. Now, can I just bring up an issue? So, and you folks are more familiar with the town meeting and everything like that. I think that we should, with respect to this, the meeting next month. That's the last thing I put here. We're not going in order. Sorry. But participation in the special town meeting. Rebecca, I think you sent a note about that. I think it might make some sense to kind of give them like what's on our mind. We've got the CPC funds. We have the improvement grant. There's probably other stuff that's on our minds. The Hatchet situation, things like that. I think it would be good to present some information so that we get some funding. If there's anything that's out there, and Suzanne, I imagine you know more about this, but
well, I think it's a good idea to put people on notice that there's an active and productive Commission on Disabilities again, because it was dormant for so many years. I would guarantee 90% of the people don't know you guys are working on this. So even if you did a handout at town meeting that said, from your Commission on Disabilities, these are our names, this is what we're working on, and you'll be hearing from us at meetings and town meetings over the next few years. We're actively seeking a grant. I mean, that kind of information without asking for any money at this town meeting is certainly, I think, a really good idea.
Okay.
I agree with Suzanne.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And
Great.
Jim, didn't you have something that you?
I'm happy to assemble a handout.
Okay. All right, great.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm going to put you in here. Kate, to assemble a handout. And do you think it would be good to just give the select board sort of our role, our mission? I think Jim had something going with that at some point. Very brief, very to the point of what we're out doing. Now we're here. We're having meetings. We've got active participation, and here are the initial projects. We've been at it since what? April. We've had 4 meetings, 3. This is our 4th meeting, I think. So I think that's probably good to do that if we can.
I'll share a Google Doc with a rough outline. You guys can plunk in anything you want that you think you'd like to have handed out, and then I'll just craft it into something user friendly.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Rebecca, did we have Ryan joining us as select board liaison, or is that not happening today?
I invited him twice.
Okay. All right.
Friday.
He's kind of driven right now with the Maurice's campground stuff.
Yeah, and they meet every Friday afternoon. So that's probably what it is.
Okay.
No.
For next meeting. Okay, we'll talk about our next meeting here coming up. All right, let's go back to. Okay, so number 3, I think that's going to be taken care of by this handout, right? So to be covered in handout. Meeting. Okay.
May I just ask a question of Rebecca on this, and Suzanne from their area of expertise? Because we're the first active commission in quite a long while, would they like to see us and ask us their questions or give us their thoughts on what they were hoping an active commission on disabilities would be working on, so that it's two-way rather than a static handout that's given to everybody? That might be a worthy.
Kate, I agree with you. I think that this committee would benefit from just communicating directly to the select board and saying, we're working hard. We've got several areas that we're working on. And if you're interested, we are willing to come and be part of an agenda at a select board meeting for an update.
Perfect.
And let them call the shots.
Sure.
Perfect. I love that.
Well, I guess I hate to say it again, but I agree with Suzanne. I mean, I do. I think she's absolutely right. And I think that's why Ryan wanted to be your liaison, because he had some ideas that he wanted to share with you. So
yeah, he's a big proponent of ADA access across town. So he's going to be a valuable liaison.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, we have such a long way to go because of the lack of sidewalks and the roads themselves. So it'd be good to get in front of them and say, this is going to be a longer term scenario. I had somebody say to me the other day, I won't say who it was, but it was like, oh my God, we're going to spend all that money to have wheelchair users to use the beaches. And it's like, they just don't get it. They don't get it, you know? Um, so I think the more we can get in front, the better. So I guess my question though is on that suggestion, do we do the handout for the meeting in September, and then we follow up with that with the meeting with the select board as an agenda item? What do you think?
I think we offer, and when they're not too busy or they have room in their agenda,
Okay.
they can invite us or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yes.
Along the ideas of access, this isn't on the agenda, so I'll wait for new business. But if I forget it, somebody remind me I had a topic for new business.
Okay. Okay. So I still have this burning thing on my brain here on number 4.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Do we, Rebecca, are you leading the charge on this? On the application
Hang on,
process?
I'm driving. What's number 4? Yes, I can do that for you.
It's so, you may not have heard the beginning where Jim was noting that the applications are due September 30th. And they're due
I heard that.
online. Okay. And what I saw
Okay,
was
yeah,
they
and I
had-
actually, like I said, I checked with the assistant town administrator, Rebecca, because she's very good at grant writing, and
Okay.
she said she would absolutely help me through the entire process, so it will get there
Okay.
on time.
Okay. Okay.
Is there something that we can be doing to assist you?
Let me
Anything
look
you need
through the
from us?
application, and I'm going to look through the application, and if I need anything, I will definitely reach out to all of you and just say, hey, can you get me this? But
Yep.
as of right now, let me look through it with Rebecca, and we'll start the process on Monday.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, they were saying in the instructions that it might be handy. They strongly recommend you prepare answers to the grant application questions in a separate Word text document. This minimizes the time spent with the application portal, provides you with in case of technical difficulty. So it's like, I think you copy the questions, you complete it, and maybe if there's anything you're having trouble with, you just reach out to us and let us know if we can help.
I can do that. That's great. Thank you.
Because it times out after 40 minutes.
Right.
So you can't let the form be idle for 40 minutes. Anyway, that's just something.
Mhm.
Great.
I feel like it might be an SAT.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, you'll get a grade. Okay. So I've got that. So let's just close on the Hatches situation again. Is there any follow-up the commission wants to do on that? Are we getting any response? Is it in the Public Works Director's hands? What are we doing with respect to that?
I can tell you that I reached out to Jim a couple times, asking him if he would either attend a meeting or give his thoughts. I know he's very inundated right now with building permits and dealing with 1065 Route 6, the construction site. So yeah. I will, he was off today. So Monday, I'll go in and talk to him and see if I can get anything from him to bring back to you.
Okay. Yeah, and I would say, Fred, would you be open to having a call, 3-way call with Rebecca and Jim?
Sure.
If needed. I think we just need to finish. We've been kicking this around since May, so it's been 3.
Right.
Well, and Fred and I were kicking it around before we were an official commission.
Yeah.
So a lot of time has gone by.
Yeah, I'd say, Rebecca, you can tell them, at least me, I'm disappointed that something hasn't been done. Because honestly, I'm not an expert, but we know what the issue is. let's figure it out one way or the other. That's my own view, not the commission's view, but it's just frustrating when we just keep on talking, and it's right across from his office or right down the road from his office. It wouldn't take long to assess the situation. Then they have to make some, some decisions.
Minor changes that would be effective.
Right. So
I totally agree.
do we
The
need to say anything
alternative,
else? Anything else?
two things. One, I think if it keeps stalling, and I want to be sensitive to how busy everybody is, but we have a grievance procedure and perhaps it needs to be utilized if we stay in a stalemate without any momentum for too much longer, because then that ratchets it up to the next level. And I'd rather avoid that if possible.
Yeah.
It's a business thing when we get to that point.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And just so that I know, based personally, is it your sense that the Hatches folks aren't willing to do anything, or are they just haven't been told they need to do something, or where's that stand on that? Do you know?
Fred, do you want to take that one? Because you were working on it even longer than I have. And you and I have been a team for what, 2 years before we were a formal group?
So George, please, could you please repeat your question? Because I didn't quite hear you.
I just asked whether they willing to address this issue and either correct it, or have they pretty much said, look, this doesn't apply, we don't agree with it, or maybe we haven't advanced it far enough for that to happen. But just is it something that they're not willing to do, or they haven't been told enough to figure out what they need to do?
Just in the kind of clarify who they are.
Hatches, the Hatches ownership.
Yeah. I personally have not spoken with them. I suppose I can now go over there and just basically say to the guy, hey, here's the situation, and I'm not sure what'll take place, but I could give it a shot. Basically say, come on out and let's talk about this thing. Because I've been told by building inspectors that, they said they were going to do something. Obviously nothing's happened.
Yeah, I think we have unofficial minutes, truly unofficial, because they're not, we shouldn't even call them minutes, notes, because it was just the two of us. Yeah. But, Fred has spoken to previous building inspectors, and
right.
And I appreciate that we have an entirely new one and it's completely different. And I don't mean to imply in any way, shape, or form, just that it has been brought up enough that I would hope that it's not just with the building people who've moved on. So
yeah. So would it be appropriate then to suggest, and this would be for Rebecca perhaps, to talk to Jim and then have Jim and Fred communicate, and then it would seem isn't Jim's role include, he's the one should go to Hatches and say this is what needs to be done, right?
Yes, that's right. He's the building inspector, so he has jurisdiction there.
Yeah, so I think we probably need to get him involved, Fred, some level, right? So let's if Rebecca goes in and says, we're kind of disappointed in all this, can he just get moving on it? Everybody's busy. So if they can just get moving on this one issue that's been sitting here for a while, and we did change, but
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I emailed him I'm pretty sure I emailed him back in April. So
Yeah.
he didn't respond. And I think I followed up a couple times and then I got so wrapped up with town meeting, but I'll go into his office on Monday morning because I have to go over
Okay.
there anyway, because I deal with the Board of Health. So I'll go into his office and ask like, what's up, where you been, what's going on?
Okay. Perfect. I'm just going to put on 8/22. Okay. And then, you know, if there's anything that Fred can assist with, you can just reach out directly to him, I think.
Yeah. I sent off I think I copied all you guys with kind of a review of the situation that I sent out.
Right.
So
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody got that. It's kind of a summation of.
Yeah, and I'll print that up and bring it with me, Fred.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? So we're not going to go with the 2 presentations because we've got other alternatives. We may seek funds for the CPC from the CPC. We've got a sub working group starting after Labor Day. We're going to set up a meeting with the select board perhaps after the town meeting. We're going to prepare a handout. Kate's going to send a draft around for us to look at. Rebecca's going to get cranking on the grant application and ask for any help. We just talked about hatches, and she's going to follow up on Monday with him. And then we hopefully will have Ryan join us for the next meeting. We need to talk about the next meeting, but let's talk about new business before we talk about the next meeting. New business is open for
Wonderful.
discussion.
Thank you. So when Fred was bounced out of the meeting, I went into the chat because I didn't want to interrupt the flow of discussion that was going on. And it dawned on me that we really should be providing easier access to our meetings for anybody who might drop in. In the future, I think we should hit the closed caption tab. So our conversation runs along the bottom, is closed caption for people who might have some hearing impairment but want to participate. And by extension, I'm happy to do the homework since it occurred to me today, but maybe we should be applying that same thinking to town meeting or just in general, ease of access to important meetings such as town meeting.
Good point.
I think they're going to try and live stream it, especially the special town meeting. If that's the case, I can contact the media service people and see if they can caption it while it's live streaming.
Perfect. That'd be good.
I know when I put this meeting on Zoom, I can put in the closed captioning for viewers when they view the meeting.
Good. Okay.
Good. Thank you. I think we should do that going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And Rebecca, are you taking that on in terms of our meeting? Are we going to be thinking about how we come up with that policy or suggest some?
I think, well, I know for actually, I handle all the Zoom meetings and I put them on YouTube. So I can go through and make all of them closed captioning, and I can talk to the media services because we're eventually going to be out of Zoom somehow in some way, shape, or form, where most of the meetings will be on Zoom, but they'll also be live streamed. So let me see if the media services, if this is something that JP can do for us. So all meetings can be closed caption.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you for
I don't know if it's possible, but I will definitely, I will definitely figure that out. And I'll report back to you next month and let you know what they say.
Excellent.
Okay. Great. Any other items for new business? I think we've got some stuff going. We've got good things happening. We got a working group. We've got a handout for the meeting. We're working on that hatches situation. And we have grant application happening. So some good things going.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if we don't have anything else, I'm just going to suggest next meeting.
Okay.
When would you like to do it?
Well, I suggest we consider a day other than Friday if we're serious about having Ryan being able to be a liaison with us, if he already has a large standing committee that meets on Fridays.
Okay. And when is that special town meeting? The 20.
The 10th of September.
10th.
September 10th. So we could try, well, we could do the 22nd. That's 6 weeks from, roughly about 6 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. 15th would be about 4 weeks. 22nd would be just more than that. So it'd be a Thursday, September 22nd. You want to try to shoot for that?
The 22nd?
22nd at 4?
Yeah. At 4? Yep, that's fine
Sure.
with me.
One of my grandkids'
I'll be on the road,
birthday.
but I can absolutely join through the road.
Okay.
Rebecca,
Okay.
would you put my email address on the notices to
Absolutely.
notified of what's going on?
Yep, no
I
problem.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I have to leave, folks. Thank you for letting me into your meeting, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
excellent suggestions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we said the 22nd of September at 4 o'clock.
Okay, sounds
Yep.
good.
It sounds fine.
All right. So
Yep.
we got a bunch of things happening in between.
Great.
We'll keep
Great.
in touch with everybody.
Great.
All right, everyone take care. I'll
Thank
get
you.
that out to you.
Thank you.
Kate?
Thank you very much.
Kate?
Excellent.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye, Jim.
Kate, can you stick
Thank
around
you.
Bye,
after?
Jim. Yes. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, Fred. Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay. See you later. Bye, Fred.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Jim. See you later. Bye.
Who?
Hi.
I don't know what happened here. Oh, stupid thing.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
I'm
wondering-
gonna leave the meeting open then while you guys talk. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Thank you.